Ana is a pretty late character into the game, and Sombra's the newest character of the bunch. We're going to be taking a look on how to Ana, and Ana is a pretty simple character, but hard to learn. Now, one thing I'm going to say is if you want to be really good with her, if you want to have great aiming, then you need to go up to a high sensitivity if you are someone on console. Now, the best Ana player in the world plays on a low sensitivity and uses his entire arm to guide the mouse around the mouse pad, and he never misses a sleep dart. On console, this is simply just not usable, as, in my opinion, she's great on console, but if you don't have the perfect sensitivity, you're not going to be good with her. Okay? So we're going to be looking at her sensitivity real quick. And one of my favorite things about Ana is you can simply just get used to the sensitivity like it's nothing. Okay, it's really good to get used to the sensitivity, and she's really easy to get used to the sensitivity. But in order to really use your play Ana to the full potential, sensitivity is a must-have for her. So, yeah. So what I would recommend is really going to your own heroes, selecting Ana and putting her sensitivity to at least up to a 90, 100, or 190. Just to let you guys know. I can use whatever sensitivity I want. I have control freaks on my controller, which allows me to guide my shots a lot better with sensitivity. But if you don't have control freaks, I recommend playing on a lower sensitivity. But definitely get them. They're like 15 bucks. Very affordable. And they really help your game out a lot in a game like Overwatch. Let's go over her abilities. That's the wrong one. Here it is. Her biotic rifle has a long-range rifle that heals allies and damages enemies, and then you can hold the left trigger to zoom in. It says she's a 3-star difficulty, and she definitely is if you don't have the right sensitivity. She's easy to heal, but you gotta time the shots with her pretty well in order to really, give her the maximum potential that she has, or your maximum effort. In order to push on it to her most, you really gotta quick scope. And I don't want to sound like an MLG motherfucker here, but quick scoping, really, you need to quick scope in this on Ana, because your movement, your mobility is restricted when you're holding out sights. But when you shoot your rifle by hip firing, it's a projectile. It isn't a bullet. It's a projectile, which means it takes time to get to that target. Which means they have travel time. But if you time your shots correctly, you can, and you use your quick scope, you could simply snipe an enemy from a mile away. We're gonna hit this moving target twice. The fire rate was a bit too slow on that one, but you can obviously full auto her sights, but otherwise it's not useful. As you see, quick scoping while moving is gonna help your drag scope, and your drag scope is gonna help you is gonna help you get more kills, heal allies faster, and of course do that. Her gun has no damage drop off, which is the best thing about her gun in my opinion, because you could simply just snipe from a mile away and you won't get punished for it. As if you are far away and have a great placement, you're gonna hold down your sights. But if you're being aggressive, quick scope, you're never gonna hip fire this thing ever. That moves us on to her second ability and her most useful support ability for saving an ally, Sleep Dart. Fires a dart that puts an enemy to sleep. Sorry, I'm far away from my TV right now. This is very, very simple. This is where the sensitivity really kicks in to really guide your sleep dart. Her sleep dart does no damage, and it's also active for around 7 seconds, but the cooldown is, or around 5 seconds, but the cooldown is around 12, so you can really just maximize it to that. The best part to combo it is with her third ability, which is the Biotic Grenade. This is my favorite ability of hers when you're healing the bigs, aka the tanks. You really only want to save this for when you're wombo comboing with her, or healing a big target, aka a tank. There's a grenade that heals and increases healing on allies, while damaging and preventing healing on enemies. What this means is you simply throw it. It has around a 2 to 3 meter radius, maybe something like that, and it's there for quite a while. It does as much damage as a shot of her biotic rifle, which is fantastic. And you can, let's say from this right here, and maybe hit the target. Yeah, you will. So as you see, I healed myself. Damage these 2 targets. I can then shoot these guys with 2 bursts of damage, and yeah. So wombo comboing. How do you wombo with Ana? Really, what you want to do? Get the quick scope in there, sleep dart, shot, grenade. Used to be able to sleep dart, shoot, grenade, punch. But when they nerfed Enchi, they also nerfed her to where she can't do that anymore. And that used to be one of her most powerful things to do. Is simply punch, because that's how you reach your maximum damage output. But now it's not even like that anymore.
Bedtime.
But yeah. Her ultimate is the nano boost, increasing an ally's damage while reducing damage taken. This used to give you a speed boost, but they used to abuse Reapers, and they went to go speed a sound around the map using only 1 Death Blossom, and it was the most annoying thing to watch, because an Ana would just be like, you're powered up, get in there.
Get in there.
And Reaper would be like, die, 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 just speed a sounding across the map, killing everyone because he has 50% increased damage. AKA, the speed boost used to be overpowered, because the same thing with Genji too. Used to speed boost, which if you didn't have a Zarya, then you would have been able to at least wipe a team. But the best way to use her nano boost is on various characters. I've experimented with multiple characters, and I will conclude, or not even, just I will tell you who the best are. And I will guarantee you that you will love Ana after this. Okay, so the do's and the don'ts. Let's talk about the don'ts. Most people are like, oh, Junkrat, because Junkrat, you can nano boost his tire. You can't. You can nano boost him while he's doing the rip tire, but the rip tire doesn't get that bonus damage out there. And it doesn't take reduced damage. It's just the same. And then Junkrat's just going to be steering his wheel while he's all blue and shiny, and nothing's going to happen because he's completely useless, and then you'll be called an idiot, nutcracker, nutsacker, bundle of pubic hair, basically. Sombra, since she isn't that capable of doing too much damage, it's just her mini Uzi, you have to be super up close personal. She only has 200 health, and that 50% damage is only going to increase her up to 300 health, let's say that for a fact, and it's not going to be worth it. Tracer, once again, she's only going to go around 225 health when you nano boost her, but she will have that increased damage, so she's kind of in the gray line. Reaper, or Soldier, let's talk about Soldier. Soldier is by far my favorite to nano boost. Now, just because he had that damage buff, he can melt people. He can get around 3 kills and 1 mag if you're lucky. And nano boosting his aimbot will only give you more kills and allow you to push farther in competitive. Reaper is really cool too. I like Reaper. I think he is by far one of the best in Nano Boost, and he used to be the main one in Nano Boost whenever you got the speed boost, just because of that speed boost, which allowed you to, when you died or death blossomed, you will go around the map speed of sounding while having that 50% damage, while having 50% less damage, which means you'll take around 375 health when you have a Reaper, when you have probably almost, not even double, 50% more damage on your shotgun to 50% more speed, and it's fantastic. McCree. A lot of people wouldn't be mentioning McCree, but McCree is another one of my favorites, as whenever you, when you high noon, it locks onto them faster, but that's the only reason. My main man, Genji. Genji is probably another one of my favorites compared to his Dragon Blade, which does 120 damage per swipe. With that 50% increase of damage, you'll do 180 per swipe, which will allow you to one-shot tracers and get even more damage onto them, which allows you to give you more of a play of the game. Pharah is an okay one, and that the only reason is because of her whatever it is called, her justice range from above. So the don'ts, like I said, is Junkrat and Sombra. Mei for sure, because she doesn't do the DPS you need. Widowmaker, Hanzo, any kind of sniper. Torb is okay. I mean, he's, like I said, kind of in the gray line. But, let's move on to the tanks. The only reason I wouldn't advise you to pick Roadhog or Winston is Roadhog can do damage. That's for sure. He can do damage. He can hook from a mile away. And, he's really good. Except, his DPS is extremely low. That was horrible of me. His DPS is really low unless you can land headshots. It's about at least half a second in between each shot, and that's why I wouldn't advise you to do it. Winston, everyone knows that Winston really is just not a good tank to begin with. And, I mean, yeah, you don't have to aim with him, but, you know, it's just Winston is just Winston. He doesn't do enough damage. So let's go into the do's in the tanks. Diva, since she has shotgun auto machine guns, she has the potential to melt enemies, which means if you have 50% damage boost, you'll basically kill them twice as fast. About that, maybe. Reinhardt was the first ever nano boosted. Like, whenever people wanted a nano boost, Reinhardt would be their go-to, because of course you have his charge, you have his flame thing, which will take out even more damage. His hammer would do even more damage, and you'd move faster. But the one thing that Reinhardt does do is, while he's nano boosted, he will not have his shield up, so you really only want to do it when you're womboing with Zarya. Speaking about, Zarya is probably one of the next okay best for damaging. And the reason I say this is if she is fully juiced up, if she is a fully juiced up tank, you can seriously do damage. And, yeah. Everyone knows that when Zarya is fully juiced, everyone's dead, it's over, game over. And, while comboing with her Graviton Surge, yeah, it's kind of over, because if you nano boost her, she does 50% more damage, while she also has that increased damage boost if she's fully juiced up. Healers. No healers besides probably Zen. Zen is my favorite healer in the game because he can do the damage. And he's always my go-to in competitive for healing, but that's pretty much it. So mostly offense heroes besides Sombra, mostly tanks beside Roadhog and Winston, and that's pretty much it. So those are the people you want to nano boost. Now, is there any like mobility advantage towards Ana or anything really you want to know about? No. There is no mobility towards her. She has no way to get up to high ledges unless you have a Mei or you have stairs to climb. Now, this is really bad in my opinion because it's just, I don't know.
Bedtime.
It's just, I don't like how she doesn't have much mobility. She can't get to the point in time. She doesn't have much survivability unless you really, unless you really,
It's quiet.
unless you have like a Lucio to speed boost you, or if you have really good survivability. She doesn't have that good survivability, and yeah. Also, if you play Ana, if you main her on console, and people tell you you have to use a mouse and keyboard, and you're not, simply just say, "Shut the fuck up," because
Go to sleep.
like I said, when you're playing Ana on console, you really want to maximize her potential, and by doing this, maximize your sensitivity to as much as you really want. And yeah. So this was a bit of a long video, but if they do tell you to use, if you need a mouse and keyboard to use an Ana, simply, like I said, say shut the fuck up, because it doesn't matter. This is a game you bought with your money. Feel free to play it the way you want, okay? And like I said, before you even go out with Ana, seriously, practice with her within the training range like I'm doing right here, because the best number one Ana player in the world, he's really good at playing Ana, and one of the things he did was probably went to the training range, found his perfect sensitivity, and then started practicing getting his sleeping darts, getting his biotic grenades down, saving a teammate at last second. It really, you need to just practice with her. She's a hard character to master, and once you do master her, go out, play with her a bit, and see how you like her. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, possibly subscribe to make my day. More Warframe content coming out. I've also been recently playing Advanced Warfare. I know many people are going to hate me for saying that, but seriously, it's not that bad of a game. And I will be making a video coming out on that soon, just as a joke, so don't get too serious. And peace out.